Hey soldiers, this is Sergeant Merrill. Today we're going to take a look at this tank superiority mode on the PS3, courtesy of a fellow YouTuber. I'll have his link in the description. His name is Forever Azrael, and I thank him very much for providing this gameplay, because I currently do not have a PS3. And it is only available on the PS3 as of now until September 4th. So, let's talk about this. So Tank Superiority Mode is something I can say that we were all excited for. This DLC is vehicular warfare, and the idea of just a game mode that revolves around tank-on-tank gameplay is something to be excited about. And it's really interesting to see how it's implemented. It's like King of the Hill with tanks. And that looks really fun to me. Now again, I don't have a PlayStation, so you know, I'm like many of the Battlefield players right now. I'm kind of looking from the outside and a little skeptical from some of the gameplay that I've seen, but it's interesting to see how all the details are coming together, you know, how these game modes are implemented. And I will say that I'm interested in a King of the Hill tank mode. I think it sounds really fun, but looking at this gameplay, I see a number of issues that may throw off the balance of what is at the core mechanics of Battlefield. Maybe it works for this game mode simply because that's how it plays out, but I just noticing that everybody rolling with engineers, I don't know how that's going to play out when I get my hands on it. You know, is that really going to be fun where everybody plays an engineer? I see the reasoning behind it. There's a point. There's a reason everybody should be running an engineer, because it's tank superiority. You want to be able to take these tanks out, even if you're in armor or not. So it makes sense to me. I just wonder if that's throwing off the balance and the fun in the game, or maybe I'm overthinking it. I mean, because there's so many reasons to run an engineer in tank superiority. Not just for offensive purposes using the javelin, but also defensive purposes. I mean, you know, a tank that has a couple engineers sitting behind him repairing the whole time is going to do a million times better than a tank that just rolls in with no support in that aspect. And now that I'm thinking in my head, you know, the only class that I see that is not going to have much of a point at all in this game mode is going to be Recon. There's really not going to be much of a point for somebody to be chilling in the back on Recon unless they're being an asshole. I mean, they're not going to be serving their team any purpose at all. And the only reason that I see somebody rolling with a sniper rifle is simply because you have an open landscape here. But again, I think anybody's going to take every opportunity to step inside of a tank or be repairing with the tank. So the engineer may be a little bit over-incentivized in this particular map type. Or that may have been their purpose all along, and it may actually work out. It's just something that I'm going to have to speculate on until I can get my hands on it or watch a shit ton more gameplay. Now, I'm also noticing from this gameplay in particular, when it comes to javelins, you might be better off jumping out of that tank as a passenger, not even bothering being a passenger, jumping out of that tank and just putting your javelins downrange. Because watch when he targets onto these tanks. They stop. And they just head the other direction. And you've seen that before in Battlefield. You know, when you're playing and you start to lock on a tank, he's like, whoa, slams on the brakes and starts backing up. Because he knows that javelin's really going to mess him up. So I see that being a huge part of this game mode, is taking advantage of javelins and also using smoke if you're going to be aggressive, and using it intelligently. A lot of people don't know that you can use smoke not only to stop people from locking on, but you can also use it to get rid of the missiles as they come in. So it might be a good idea to wait till you have like 3 or 4 javelins coming at you, and then hit that smoke and bounce out of that position. So there's going to be some really interesting strategies when it comes to this game mode that I think people are just going to have to learn over time, because it's so different. This is not your average Battlefield. You're talking, I mean, this is just console. So I can't imagine once this hits PC on a 64-man server, a 32-man server, what this is going to be like. But on console, you know, you got 8 tanks versus 8 tanks, and you see there's still a lot of intensity going on here. So just picture in your head what my gameplay is going to be like once I get this on the PC. So I am excited for this gameplay, or for this game mode, and I want to know y'all's thoughts on the PS3, what you think of it so far. And even if you're not on the PS3, I'm sure you're scouring YouTube just like me to get an idea of what this is going to play like. I want to know your thoughts. What do you think so far when it comes to tank superiority? Hey guys, be sure to drop by the website if you want to pick up your loyalty points for today. You can also click on these 2 videos as well as several more that I have in the description. That's all I have for this video. This is Sergeant Merrill, out here.